What I'm going to do is set up a new meeting. Make sure I name it. Scroll down here and I can set the date and time. I'm going to go down here and I'm not going to require a password. I want my video to start. This is your choice. You can request them to turn their video on, or you can just say when they join the meeting, they're automatically going to have their video on. I'll leave it to off so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to scroll down. They're not going to be able to join before I show up. When I have open office hours, sometimes I allow them to join before I show up in case I'm late. Enable waiting room. You're going to be able to see this on the other end, but what this allows you to do is okay everybody entering into the meeting. Record the meeting automatically and make sure it's on local. I also like to sometimes mute participants upon entry. When they join the meeting, it's automatically going to be muted until they unmute their own microphone. I'm going to click save, and I'm going to take this URL and email it or post it somewhere where my kids can get to it. It's recommended don't post that on social media or somewhere else like that. Then you're going to have all of your kids joining your class. It's better to target the kids who need to be there. Now that I've sent the invitation, I'm going to click start the meeting. Definitely want to join with my computer audio. Now I just have to wait for the kids to show up. Notice along the bottom of my screen, I'm going to say manage participants. Eventually you're going to see that start to fill up. So now that we've noticed that one student has joined the meeting, and now we have multiple people in our waiting room. So now that I'm ready for open office hours, I can click see the waiting room, and I can say, yep, I'm going to admit Sammy in. And Aiden, let's say that he wasn't in this hour, I might just say remove him from this particular meeting because he's really supposed to be in the next hour. But I'm just going to admit him for the time being. As we've noticed that the cameras are off because I've asked them to start the meeting without having the video on. But I could say ask to start video. That's how I'm going to have some of the participants share their video. But you're going to notice that I'm the only one in the meeting. So let's pretend that Aiden and Sammy are two different students. So now that the meeting is up and running, right now they're still muted. But for right now, I've allowed them to unmute themselves. We notice that Aiden is still muted, but Sammy is not. Sometimes though, when you have a lot of kids in the class, it's really hard to hear everybody. So that's where if you click manage participants, on this pane will appear on the far right. I can say mute all. And it will ask, allow them to unmute themselves. I'm going to say no, because I'm going to control who can talk and who cannot for this particular time. Some things you could do is just have them raise their hand, signifying that they are the ones who want to talk. And then you can just go over to your far right side and just say unmute, and now allow that student to talk, and then mute when they're done. Down below under more, you can select or deselect this, similar to the pop-up in the middle of the screen. You can also allow them or not allow them to rename themselves. At the very bottom, it's a locked meeting. So let's say the meeting is supposed to start at 8:30 and now it's 8:35. I could click lock meeting no matter what. You show up 8:36, you're not going to be allowed in the meeting. So use that sparingly, I would say. So as you see, it's recording. So this should record for, I believe, roughly 40 minutes. So make sure that you're keeping an eye on the time. And so that way you know that my time is almost up and I need to end the meeting because the meeting will no longer be recorded after 40 minutes. The other requirement is make sure you have another Limburg employee adult in the meeting with you at all times.